All right, hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So today I will be doing the Q&A. Yesterday on my Instagram I asked people to ask me any questions about like the process of coming to Korea, why I'm in Korea. So I will be answering most questions. I did get a lot of questions. A lot of them are kind of the same, so I will do my best to get through all of them. So the main question is, why am I in Korea? So the reason why I am in Korea is because I will be attending Yonsei University this summer. I will be taking 2 classes with them. The program ranges from the end of June to beginning of August. So that is why I'm here. So starting off with, one of the main questions was the process hard of signing up to a school here in Korea? And for me, it was not that hard, just because I signed up directly with the school. I was initially going to do the program with ceci, which is just like a program that helps like bridge between schools in the United States and schools here like in Korea or in other countries. But I had seen that someone did sign up to the program through Yonsei directly, so I signed up, and within like 3 days I was accepted, and then within like a week I had paid my tuition and I knew it was coming to Korea. So that was a process for me. And then their question is like, what will I be studying, and if it was hard as a foreigner to sign up. And again, like I said, I will be studying 2 classes. I will be taking 2 classes, which I will be taking contemporary Korean culture and the Korean wave, and the second class I will be taking is beginner Korean language 1. And then this one's a very good question. Is the food during quarantine good? And the answer is yes. A lot of the dishes are really good. The only issue is that they do come a little cold, but other than that, they're really good. I love Korean food, so I have not had an issue with the food at all. Another question is mostly about like quarantine, is how many days do you need to be isolated? And the answer is 14 to 15. Our packet says 15, but people say they got out within 14 days. So I will just find out. They told us they would let us know 2 days beforehand. So I'm gonna find out if I get out the 11th or 12th or the 13th. We will see. Another question is, what are you most excited to do in Korea? What I am most excited to do is to cafe hop. That is one thing I love. Like, I love coffee, and I love watching Korean vlogs of people that like do cafe hopping out here. So I'm super excited to do that, and I cannot wait to do that. So 2 people kind of asked the same question, was is it scary alone, and what was like the scariest thing about planning my trip? And the scary part is within itself was me traveling alone. I have never traveled outside of the United States. This is my first time, and the fact that I left the United States alone is very scary for me. But I am also very excited to see what this journey entails, what I'm about to experience, to experience a new culture, a new city, a new country. So I'm very excited to do that. But yeah, that was the scary part, was coming alone. And then another question that I got was, how can I make friends fast if I go alone? And honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I'm someone who kind of has a hard time making friends sometimes, but I kind of have to put myself out there, especially if I already came on this journey alone. I might as well kind of like take that risk of like putting myself out there and meeting new people. Obviously be careful as well, like with who, but like if you feel like it's right, then put yourself out there, make friends and make those memories, because like, this sounds super cliche, but we only have this life once, so you just gotta make the best of it. So I got a lot of questions about like, is it expensive, like the quarantine, like is it expensive and all of that. And honestly, it kind of was expensive. I originally had planned to do the fall program, but because it was gonna be a little too expensive for me, because I paid for about like 80% of my study abroad program. My mom did help me pay for my tuition, and then my dad did help me with like a little bit of the flight and my dorm, but I did pay like most of my flight, most of my dorm. I paid for my quarantine. I exchanged currency as well, and I also brought like what I'll be spending here in Korea. So it can get expensive. I have to budget very well, and you have to budget very well to make sure you can afford the trip and what you're here for. Especially me, for school, I had to make sure that I could afford it, and I can, but I did do a lot of saving, so that is very important. And then there was one that says, not a question, just hope you're doing well while isolating again, and I'm here for you. Thank you so much, Ceci. That means so much to me. Yeah, like doing quarantine can be very boring. You can get in your head a lot because you are alone for the most part. But I have been talking to my family, I've been reading, I've been writing, I've been editing, watching TV, you know. So I also do like exercises. I walk back and forth in my room just to, you know, get myself moving. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm hanging in there, but we're halfway done, we're almost out. And then let's see, someone asked, what did you need in order to travel to Korea during a pan dulce? So what I needed was, I came on my passport, I didn't come on a visa, but as of May 3rd of last month of this year, Korea put in a travel authorization where you sign up within 24 hours before you leave where you're leaving, and you just have to put where you're going, why you're coming to Korea, and you put in your passport information. I did it once it opened, even though I didn't leave till May 28th, but you know, just to make sure that I had everything in place. And then I just printed it out. So at the airport I had my passport, my travel authorization, and a negative PCR test. So they're the three main things you need if you're coming on a passport. And you have to make sure it's a PCR test, because I've seen people try to do antigen, self-tests, and rapid. They will not let you on your flight. You will not be allowed. So it has to be a PCR test, and it has to have your name, date of birth, where you got it done, PCR, and negative. Those are like the main things that they look for. One question was, what is one thing you wish you brought with you for quarantine? I wish I would have brought a duvet, but it didn't fit in my luggage, so sadly I didn't bring it. But that's really the one thing I wish I brought. Let's see. Someone asked again, like, was the process hard? If I had any assistance from professors and stuff like that. I did not. I did everything on my own, but it was not hard. So if I did it, anyone can do it. And again, if anyone has any questions, just feel free to DM me on Instagram or leave a comment. But I feel like Instagram would be better for any questions like that. And then someone asked me, do you need to learn / understand the language to be able to study abroad? And what about for South Korea? I would say yes and no, just because one of my classes will be in English, and then my other one will be in Korean, because I'm going to be learning how to like speak Korean. But it is very important to know like basic phrases and stuff like that, because especially at the airport, I was barely able to get by, but luckily there were people who speak English. But you know, I came to a country where the main language obviously is Korean, and yes, a lot of people do speak English, but you know, it's very important to still know. So that's why with taking this class, I do hope I can better my Korean, and I can, you know, communicate better. So yeah, someone said, what made you want to go to Seoul? Good luck out there, girl. So proud. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. You know, getting all these encouraging words from so many people that I haven't talked to in a long time, and it just means a lot, you know. And I'm also here supporting you guys too, even though if I may not say it, but know that there's someone that out here that believes in you. So again, thank you so much. And what made me want to come to Seoul is that well, I grew up in Koreatown for a few years in LA, and my parents worked with Koreans for a long time, so I was pretty like I had a very good understanding of like Korean culture. Even though when I moved out of LA, my family still, we would always go to Koreatown. We would always go like to the same places that we used to go to when we lived in LA. And we were really close with this lady who owned a restaurant in Koreatown, and she would always tell me like how beautiful Korea is, like when to come. And so, you know, that always kind of like motivated me to come to Korea. And I also have friends and met people that have done like the program at Yonsei specifically, and also like at other universities. But yeah, those are the main reasons why I wanted to come to Korea, because I have like, you know, an understanding of the culture, and like I respect the culture. So, you know, I wanted to come and find a new journey, you know, have a new experience. So that is really one of the reasons why I came out here. And then one of the questions was, let's see, if I was studying abroad, and if so, what is my major? So yes, I'm studying abroad, and my major actually back home is human development with a specialization in early education. But that's actually not what I want to do. I actually want to be a songwriter. For the longest time, I had a really bad relationship with being a musician. I became very discouraged. I stopped playing for, I want to say like 4 years, but then I realized how music was actually very healing for me, like listening to songs. So, you know, it kind of like was like, I want to do that too. I want to be that person that maybe inspires someone. So I decided to take that route. But so that's why I also came here, because I will be learning about the Korean wave. So, you know, how like K-pop has like this global impact, and you know, like that's part of the music industry. So, you know, I kind of want to get to know it a little bit more. And also, like with learning Korean culture, I can also take it back home, because I work with kids. I predominantly work with Hispanic children. So, you know, sometimes a lot of kids don't have that understanding that there's other cultures out there, and everyone has different traditions, beliefs. So, you know, it's always nice to teach kids young that, you know, what we do is not like the only like correct way, you know. We are all different. So I am also very excited to take this to the classroom, because when my students found out I was coming to Korea, they were like, Korea? They're like, what's that? Like, where's that? Some of them knew, like they know about Korean culture, but some of them like had no idea. So we pulled out a big puzzle map that we have, and we built it, and I was like, that's where I'm going. And they were like, that's so far. So they're very excited to see what I bring back too, because I promised them I was going to bring back stuff for the classroom. So very excited for that. And yeah, those are most of the questions that I received. And I did have like a lot more, but I feel like I answered most of them on here. And you know, if anyone has any further questions like in detail, I am more than happy to answer them through DMs on Instagram, because I don't want to make this video too long, for one, and you know, like my voice is starting to kind of hurt because I have not been talking that much during quarantine. So yeah, I am so glad that you guys stuck around for this video, and I hope you guys like it and you are excited for more videos. I will be posting my room tour soon. I actually filmed it, but I might film it again. So yeah, get excited for that. Please like this video and don't forget to subscribe and get excited for more content. Bye.